No drama. You know we get in the comments, man. What's good, YouTube? We here in Williamsburg with my boy Los right here, man. How you feeling today, bro?
Feeling good, my boy. Feeling good. Always blessed. Feel me? Can't complain. Day by day, same thing.
Yeah, man. Today we're gonna do a little interview style. Going with the flow. Gonna ask some questions. Just so you guys can get a little more understanding of Los and who he is as a person. You feel me?
Word, word, word.
You know what I mean? Uh, this is something new, and he needed help from his boy. You feel me? To be like, yo, I need, I want to tell the people who I am. You feel me?
That's
And
a fact.
what's the best way to, do that? Then have a little conversation. You feel me? So let's get into it, man. All right, bro. So, do you people know where you from?
No, I do not think people know exactly where. Everyone thinks I'm from. I'm originally from the city,
Yeah.
and I'm not. I was originally born in Venezuela. I'm originally from Venezuela. My parents came over here. They brought me, my older brother, stuff like that, and they came straight into Miami when they got into the country. And I was raised there my whole life. I came to the city, man, when I was like, I don't remember the age, but it was definitely like the beginning of 2022 when I permanently moved here. I was visiting the city before that, back and forth, and I ended up deciding that I wanted to go ahead and just like take on a different venture in my life or in my journey to just go explore and figure things out, and I guess just find the purpose and try new things.
Okay. And
Yeah, yeah.
what would you say? Um, what was the most appealing thing that stood out from coming to New York and be like, oh, like I want to live here?
It's the city's mad convenient.
Okay.
You guys have delis everywhere, and it's decent. The food is good. Um, the public transit, even though it's kind of crazy, and everyone knows how it is in the public
That's a
transit, but
fact.
that's accessible and it's really like everywhere, and just anything. And to be honest, everything, bro. The people, the connections you can get. Like I started realizing that up here, you don't really need much to make something happen. In other states like Florida, things, states that are more open land, you need a car to get everywhere. So you're very limited about who you run into depending on where you're at.
Right.
In the city, you can kind of run into anybody anywhere, like out of nowhere, and
That's a fact.
that's what I liked about it. I saw opportunity, I saw a chance, and I was like, let's give it a try. Why not? I'm already doing my thing over there. If I could make it over there, well, I could make it any elsewhere. At least that's how I felt. Like, that's really how I felt. So I was like, why not try it? And yeah.
No, I definitely feel that because even myself, as a New York native, born and raised here, um, you think it's big, but then it's really small for real. Like,
Hmm.
as long as you step out your comfort zone and go outside, go to different events, like go to parks, meet new people, go into different boroughs, you see very quickly, like the the place is very small. Like you see the same people as different places. Like I know you can attest to this. You be working and then you run into somebody that you met like years ago. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Or like
yeah,
a couple months ago. And you be like, damn, I just saw you last week
bro.
or
I've
something like that. You
I've
know?
only been here for like almost about 5 years, and I've already had a lot of like small world experiences. Like,
Yeah,
and it's crazy. Like, and man, I've met a lot of people since in the short amount of time up here, more than I've ever met in Florida. And bro, I was raised there.
yeah.
You just really know the people from the neighborhood, and I don't know, it's different. It's a lot different. Like, depending on the person you are, it's harder to be social in other areas. Where a place like this, it's in your face. You can't get away from it. You have to live it. You have to be around it, and you have to adjust to it. There's no other choice.
Okay. So we're gonna go to another question, man. Um, what brought you to calisthenics? And yeah, I say what brought you to calisthenics, man? Like what made you start doing calisthenics?
Um, well, to start off, I've always been an athletic person since I was a kid. I've always played sports. I was into baseball and boxing in my teenage years. Um, and I've always been lifting in the gym. When I was younger in my teenage days. My homies always like to go to the gym and lift. So I was always active in some way. I was always doing something. For me, I was always strong in some way. So when I got into calisthenics, it was something I always wanted to do, even when I was in Florida. I used to watch this dude on YouTube named Bully Juice, and what's his name, Chris Herrera.
Chris Herrier, yeah, yeah.
If
He's
I
from
miss my
Florida, Florida native.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
I
right,
watched a
facts.
couple of his videos too. He's
If
going crazy.
I think I mispronounced his last name, but I was watching both of those dudes right there, and yeah, they made me want to get into it, and I would try and train the muscle up in Florida, and like I didn't know how, and then like I said, bro, over there you go to a park, there's no one. Like I said, it's ghost town,
Yeah,
so it's not like you run into people over here, or you run into legends, or quote unquote, which I would like to call legends,
yeah.
and like they teach you things. So yeah, like that's what I got into it, and then kind of fast forwarding me getting into the city because I didn't fall into it. I kind of fell off of it, and then when I got into the city is when I got into it. Some people know, some people don't, but I was involved in a car accident when I came up here, while I was doing delivery work on a bike. I got hit directly by the car, flew in the air, fell, hit my head. I got smushed completely on the left side on my lower torso. I landed on my right. I had to get surgery on my knee. I got a hernia on my lower abdomen from the accident. I ended up getting two surgeries on my on this leg, and throughout the process that I was healing, it was hard. Like I didn't like the feeling of the fact that I was stagnant, and then I started seeing how weak my body started becoming, or like how frail it became due to the fact, because like of the surgeries and everything, it took a toll on my body. I was if people think I'm skinny now, like I don't know how people look at my fitness physique. Some people say I'm strong, some people tell me I look skinny, but if you think I'm skinny now, I was like this. Like you know the cinnamon stick of Apple Jacks?
Oh yeah,
That
yeah.
was
The
me, bro.
cinema.
Yeah, the cinnamon word. That was me.
Nah,
So I started seeing that was never like me, bro. Like I said, I was always active, so it made me feel different about myself. It made me belittle myself, and I didn't like that.
yeah.
I'm not one to fall victim to my insecurities, so like I wanted to get out of that as fast as possible. So I started healing, recovering, not being able to walk for like a year, turned into crutches, doing more therapy. Then I ended up getting a cane, and then little, by the end of like a year and 8 months, something like that, I was able to get back into actually like walking. And that's walking. And even then, like walking a lot used to hurt me.
Yeah.
Going up the stairs, traveling through the train station, that it would hurt me. Like I used to get a lot of pinches on my knees, and it was just recovering, bro, the whole time. And then it messed with my mind, so I wasn't eating well either. Like I wasn't. It was a lot of things I was not doing properly in that recovery process, and it just didn't make me feel right. So once I was able to walk and then jog and then run, I was like, all right, cool. Now I can start moving, and I started hitting the gym at Planet Fitness in East Harlem. That's where I lived at 105th Street, and I started going to the Planet Fitness. You go there, that's your gym.
Yeah.
So you go there. I used to see D on there before I met them for real, and I used to see them do calisthenics. I would pass by Jefferson Park. I would see you and G and all of them. This is before I knew y'all. I would just be, you remember, I used to just pop up.
Yeah, you just pop up randomly.
I ran and I wouldn't say nothing. I would do probably like some pull-ups, push-ups. I would leave. Like I'll be like, hell no, they're brawling. I'm not on that. But then one day G looked at me and he was just like, yo, you gonna stand there? You gonna get some money? And then I always wanted to join, but like I guess he kind of like forced me right there. Like he that was that I realized in that moment that was my opportunity. Like yo, you're gonna start doing something or you're not, and then that's just what it's gonna be. And then from there on, it took on, bro. It became a passion. It became everything. So it just went from there. I fell in love with it. It started making my body feel good, my mind feel good. It started making my spirit feel even better. It brought me closer to God. It just helped me think things a lot clearer, a lot better. So that's really how I got into calisthenics, man. That accident did it to me. I had three other accidents before this. In Florida. So I had like an accident every year for 4 years straight. Like so, bro. Like I was going through a lot for real, bro. So like, yeah, that's how I got into calisthenics, and yeah, bro, it's been like that ever since.
Damn, bro.